What happens when a ruthless CEO fires a loyal pregnant employee without a second thought? He gets the shock of his life when her husband steps in, not just to fight back, but to take over the entire company. Nathan Carter was a man who thrived in the fast-paced world of technology, steering his company, Apex Solutions, to the pinnacle of success. A towering figure in the industry, he was celebrated for his sharp intellect and relentless drive. However, behind the glossy facade of achievements lay a man whose reputation for ruthlessness preceded him. Nathan valued results above all else, and empathy was a concept he deemed irrelevant in the corporate battlefield. Employees admired his business acumen but feared his unyielding approach. To him, people were assets, valuable only as long as they performed. Among Apex's team was Rachel Adams, a bright, hard-working project manager who had been with the company for nearly a decade. Known for her unwavering dedication and innovative problem-solving, Rachel had earned respect across departments. She was the kind of employee Nathan grudgingly appreciated but rarely acknowledged. During a routine company meeting one Tuesday morning, Rachel raised her hand, her face glowing with a mix of excitement and nerves. "I wanted to share some personal news," she began, smiling warmly. "I'm expecting a baby." For a moment, the room erupted into applause and cheers from her colleagues, offering their congratulations. Nathan, seated at the head of the table, plastered on a polite smile, nodding perfunctorily. "Congratulations, Rachel," he said in a measured tone, his expression unreadable. To the casual observer, his response seemed appropriate. Yet, to those who knew him well, there was a flicker of calculation in his eyes, as though he was already re-evaluating Rachel's place in the company. Rachel sat back down, her excitement dimmed slightly by the uneasy feeling that her announcement hadn't been as well received as it appeared. In the days following, Nathan's outward demeanor remained professional, even cordial. He congratulated her again in passing and asked vaguely about her health. Yet, behind the closed doors of the executive boardroom, his true feelings surfaced. "This is a business, not a daycare," Nathan said curtly during a leadership meeting. "Rachel's productivity is bound to drop, and let's not ignore the costs: maternity leave, reduced efficiency, and having to temporarily replace her. It's a liability we can't afford right now, especially with the market tightening." A few of the executives exchanged uneasy glances, but no one dared challenge him. Nathan had cultivated a culture where dissent wasn't welcome. "We'll frame it as restructuring," he continued. "Cutting a few positions will look strategic to stakeholders." By the end of the week, Rachel received a summons to Nathan's office. She entered with a hint of apprehension, but no real idea of what was coming. Nathan sat behind his imposing desk, his expression calm yet detached. "Rachel," he began, "I want to start by saying how much we value the contributions you've made to this company, but due to recent restructuring decisions, we're having to eliminate a few roles. Unfortunately, yours is one of them." The words hit her like a physical blow. "What restructuring?" she stammered. "But I've been here for almost 10 years. My track record, it's not about performance." Nathan interrupted smoothly, his tone icy. "It's about the bigger picture." Devastated, Rachel packed her things and left the office, tears blurring her vision. When she told her husband, Ethan, the news that evening, his face darkened. "We'll get through this," he said firmly, though his jaw tightened with an unspoken determination. In the days following her abrupt dismissal, Rachel struggled to find her footing. The sting of betrayal lingered, and sleepless nights became routine as she worried about their future. "It's not just about me," she confided to Ethan one evening, her voice breaking. "It's about how unfair it is, how people like Nathan can get away with this." Ethan listened intently, his steady presence grounding her. "You're right," he said, his tone calm but resolute. "But right now, your health and the baby come first. Let's focus on what we can control." Taking his advice to heart, Rachel channeled her energy into preparing for the arrival of their child. Yet, the injustice weighed heavily on her, an ever-present reminder of how easily loyalty could be discarded in the corporate world. Months passed, and life slowly moved forward. Then, one crisp autumn morning, An unexpected headline dominated the business news. Apex Solutions acquired by new investment group. Nathan Carter watched the announcement unfold on a live-streamed press conference. Seated at the head of a conference table flanked by his senior team, his confidence wavered as the new owners took the stage. "We're excited to usher in a new era for Apex," the spokesperson began, before stepping aside to introduce the company's new CEO. As the camera panned, Nathan's face drained of color. Standing confidently at the podium was Ethan Adams. The room fell silent as Ethan began to speak, his voice steady and authoritative. "This company has incredible potential, but true leadership requires empathy and integrity," he said. Though he didn't name Nathan directly, the message was clear, and the stunned CEO knew his time was up. As the press conference continued, Ethan exuded an air of quiet authority. "Many of you may not know me," he began, "but I've been a silent investor in this industry for years, watching and learning. When the opportunity arose to acquire Apex Solutions, I knew it was time to step forward." Nathan sat frozen, his mind racing. Silent investor. How had he missed this? Ethan's tone shifted, growing more purposeful. "Leadership isn't just about profits or market dominance," he said. "It's about valuing the people who make those successes possible. Empathy, fairness, and integrity are not weaknesses. They are strengths." Though Ethan didn't mention Nathan by name, the undertones in his words were unmistakable. The room's atmosphere grew heavy, and Nathan's face flushed with embarrassment. "I look forward to working with all of you to build a company where people feel valued, not just for what they do, but for who they are," Ethan concluded. The applause that followed was thunderous, but Nathan could only hear the pounding of his own heart. He realized, with a sinking feeling, that his reign of cutthroat tactics had come to an end. In the weeks following, Apex Solutions began its transformation under Ethan's leadership. True to his word, he implemented policies prioritizing employee well-being, including paid family leave and work-life balance initiatives. One of the most powerful moments came when Ethan reinstated Rachel as a senior project director. "Rachel has been a cornerstone of this company's success for nearly a decade," he announced. "Her dedication and contributions deserve not just recognition, but trust." Tears welled in Rachel's eyes as the crowd erupted into applause. Meanwhile, Nathan's exit was swift and decisive. Facing mounting pressure from the board, he was forced to step down. His departure quiet and unceremonious, a stark contrast to his once dominant presence. For Rachel and Ethan, the moment was deeply symbolic. Justice had been served, but more importantly, the company's culture was evolving into something meaningful. Months later, as Rachel cradled their newborn daughter, she knew they had built a future worth fighting for.